Good afternoon, officers. Let's do Hindu newspaper analysis 26th May 2025. I hope all of you have written your prelims exam very well. Start your mains preparation immediately. Don't waste your time. Forget about what kind of result is going to come and all that. My suggestion is start your preparation for mains and think that you have cleared your prelims, and then you must do your preparation right from now. Don't wait for the last minute. It's very sincere advice. Okay. So today's topics that we are going to cover: time for a new India-Africa relations, Time 2 mission, very important. Google's AI Matryoshka, very important. Restructuring the search giant. Then Mosuraf and Tony, very important. It's a small rule breaker. Next, India-Maldives relations. These are the major things that we are going to cover today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 major topics are covered from today's newspaper. Very important for your prelims as well as mains. So let's have a quick glance at what is going to happen. So we already told you May 26th is the foundation batch. Use the code SP Live. Call up this number 8121119885. SP Live is Shaman Paidikundla Live. Use that. Get 15 to 20% discount. Fees is 1,20,000. It will be reduced to 1,05,000 or 1 lakh. Within 1 lakh, we can set the deal. That extra amount, invest somewhere. It is good for your financial future. So moving forward, time for a new India-Africa digital compact. What is the whole point? Let's see quickly. So digital diplomacy as a strategic tool. India is repositioning its development diplomacy through digital public infrastructure, DPI, like Aadhaar, UPI, CoWIN, as well as Diksha. So we are planning to enhance our relationships with respect to Togo, Zambia, Ghana, as well as Namibia. Because they are low-tech developed countries, we are going to fund them and give them technology, and we will train them. So dan valla soft power perugutundi. So what is the impact on India? India's soft power is going to increase, and global tech leadership also will have increase. Already global south we are the kings. So dan valla democratic alternative to China's digital expansion. So China ki takkar iyadaniki, China's African presence taginchadaniki India present ga undali akkada. That is a whole game. So that is international relations. So countering China's digital footprint, China aggressive state-backed financing చేస్తుంది African countries ki, especially in Africa. So అది టక్కర్ కొట్టాలి మనం. దానివల్ల ఇండియా కాంట్రాస్ట్గా ఏం చేస్తుంది అంటే ఓపెన్ సోర్స్ డెవలప్మెంట్ చేస్తుంది అండ్ లో కాస్ట్ డిజిటల్ సొల్యూషన్స్ ఇస్తుంది. సో దిస్ ఇస్ అ టక్కర్ టు చైనా. సో దట్ ఈస్ అ హోల్ గేమ్. సో వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఇంపాక్ట్ ఆన్ ఇండియా? India's geopolitical influence will increase and counter China's digital Silk Road in Africa. So these are the points that you have to mention if there is a topic on India and Africa. So moving on. దానివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే ఇండియాస్ ఎడ్టెక్ ప్రెజెన్స్ విల్ ఇంక్రీజ్, స్కిల్ డిప్లొమసీ రెండు ప్రెజెన్స్ అవుతాయి. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఐఐటి మెడ్రాస్ చూద్దాం, లాంచింగ్ ఇట్స్ ఫస్ట్ ఫారెన్ క్యాంపస్ ఇన్ జాన్జీబార్ ఫర్ డేటా సైన్స్ as well as AI courses. You can give this as an example for your mains. So India's focus on digital education diplomacy. దానివల్ల ఇంపాక్ట్ ఆన్ ఇండియా ఏమవుతుంది? ఇట్ ప్రమోట్స్ హైయర్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ గ్లోబల్లీ అండ్ పూల్ ఆఫ్ ఆఫ్రికన్ ట్రైన్డ్ ఇండియా అఫిలియేటెడ్ ప్రొఫెషనల్స్. దానివల్ల African academia and Indian academia, all of them will mix, and the synergies will be very good. So opportunities in fintech. Meanwhile, financial technology will increase and digital payments also will increase. UPI inspired models being adopted in countries like Namibia as well as Ghana. Already Europe vaartundi, so Africa కూడా ఇప్పుడు వాడుతుంది. దీనివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే మన కమర్షియల్ రెవెన్యూస్ భయంకరంగా ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతాయి, ఎస్పెషల్లీ ఫర్ ఇండియన్ ఫిన్టెక్ ఫర్మ్స్. అండ్ దానివల్ల రూపీ లింక్ ట్రేడ్ విల్ స్టార్ట్ ఇంక్రీజ్. దానివల్ల రూపీ వాల్యూ విల్ ఇంక్రీజ్, అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గుడ్ when the value of the currency will increase, but not to a great extent, to a limited extent. Next, Africa's digital divide ni manam తగ్గిస్తాము. దానివల్ల it's a very good point. You can add this as your mains point. So Africa suffers from poor connectivity. ఎందుకంటే డేటా డివైజెస్ కాస్ట్ చాలా ఎక్కువ కాబట్టి వాళ్ళు ఫండ్ చేయలేరు. మనం తీసుకెళ్ళి ఫ్రీగా ఓపెన్ సోర్స్ మనం ఇస్తాము. దానివల్ల జెండర్ గ్యాప్స్ కూడా తగ్గుతాయి, డిజిటల్ లిటరసీ పెరుగుతుంది. So these are the points that you have to mention in your mains. So India's DPI offers scalable, inclusive digital solutions ఇస్తాయి, especially to these structural gaps. So it is not just technology, but also socially also we are trying to impact African countries and attract them to us. And that is how we have through soft power. And that is how India should slowly become the leader for all the African countries. So the annual impact ఏమవుతుందంటే India will become a responsible technology partner. Inclusive growth ki manam help చేస్తున్నాం. కొత్త మార్కెట్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ చేస్తారు, ఎస్పెషల్లీ ఫర్ టెక్ ఎస్ఎంఈస్ అండ్ స్టార్ట్అప్స్కి ఇంక్రీజ్గా ఉంటుంది. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద కైండ్ ఆఫ్ పాయింట్స్ దట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు మెన్షన్. దట్ షోస్ దట్ యు ఆర్ వెల్ నాలెడ్జబుల్, యు హ్యావ్ ఫుల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. అండ్ మేజర్లీ ఏంటంటే మీకు తెలివి ఉంది, యూ కెన్ కనెక్ట్ ద డాట్స్ అని ఒక థాట్ ప్రాసెస్ డెవలప్ అవుతుంది. నెక్స్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ టాపిక్ ఇస్ Taiwan 2 mission. So Taiwan mission overview. Launched May 2025 by China CNSA. So China launch చేసింది కాబట్టి మనం జాగ్రత్తగా ఉండాలి. So very very important. So primary target near Earth asteroid 2016 HO3. So Kamo-Oliva. It's a sample return plan. Secondary target Comet 311P Pan-STARRS. Please remember these names. Very very important for your prelims. So what is a milestone అంటే China's first asteroid sample వెళ్ళి పికప్ చేసుకుని శాంపుల్ ఇట్ పిక్డ్ అప్ అండ్ కేమ్ బ్యాక్. సో ఇట్ రిటర్న్ అండ్ ద ఫస్ట్ డ్యూయల్ టార్గెట్ ఇంటర్ప్లానటరీ మిషన్. దేర్ఫోర్ ఇట్లాంటి మిషన్స్ ఇండియా కూడా ప్లాన్ చేయాలి. సో దీనివల్ల ఆబ్జెక్టివ్స్ ఏంటిదంటే ఇట్ కలెక్ట్స్ ఆస్ట్రాయిడ్ శాంపుల్స్ అండ్ ఎర్లీ సోలార్ సిస్టమ్ని స్టడీ చేయడానికి పనికొస్తుంది. సో క్రిటికల్ టెస్ట్ ఏంటంటే ఆర్బిటాల్ రెండవ యాంకరింగ్, డ్రిల్లింగ్ అండ్ శాంపుల్ రిటర్న్. సో దీని మీద మీకు క్వశ్చన్ ఏం రాదు వాట్ ఆర్ ద డిఫరెంట్ స్టేజెస్ అని, బట్ ఫ్యూచర్ ప్లానటరీ డిఫెన్స్ సిస్టమ్స్కి మనకి చాలా పనికొస్తుంది. So major point that you have to remember is asteroid samples collection and studying older solar system, how it is formed and all that stuff. So technological edge ante deen valla China will enter into the elite deep space exploration club along with NASA and JAXA. So very very important, very very important. China is going, therefore India should be careful and India should plan to get into these space zones also apart from ISRO's గ్రేట్ వర్క్. సో దీనివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే కేపబిలిటీ ఫర్ లాంగ్ డ్యూరేషన్ అండ్ మల్టీఫేస్ స్పేస్ మిషన్స్కి పనికొస్తుంది. దీనివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే చైనాస్ డీప్ స్పేస్ నావిగేషన్ పెరుగుతుంది, ఏఐ యూస్ పెరుగుతుంది, ఆటోనమస్ డెసిషన్ మేకింగ్ సిస్టమ్స్ కూడా పెరుగుతాయి. జియో పొలిటికల్గా అండ్ గ్లోబల్గా ఇట్లా ఎఫెక్ట్ అవుతుంది. చైనా సాఫ్ట్ పవర్ విల్ ఇంక్రీజ్, స్పేస్ డిప్లొమసీ పెరుగుతుంది. దీనివల్ల గ్లోబల్ ప్లేయర్స్కి ప్రెషర్ పడుతుంది, రిసోర్స్ షేరింగ్ తగ్గుతుంది, స్పేస్ లా ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్స్ పెరగాలి. ఇంకో మేజర్ పాయింట్ ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ బిజినెస్ ఏంటంటే asteroid mining, very very important. That is what India should do for the next step. And planetary defense diplomacy. So these are the major points that you have to mention for this particular issue. So దీనివల్ల ఇండియా ఏంటంటే it's a wake up call for India's deep space ambitions. For example, Shukrayaan and Mangalyaan 2 ki చాలా చాలా important. So we should be able to do something like what China is doing right now and better than them. దీనివల్ల డీప్ స్పేస్ నెట్వర్క్ పెరగాలి, R&Dకి ఎక్కువ ఫండింగ్ ఇవ్వాలి, ప్రైవేట్ సెక్టర్ ఇన్వాల్వ్మెంట్ కూడా పెంచాలి. సో ఇస్రో షుడ్ లీడ్ దిస్ కొలాబరేషన్ విత్ క్వాడ్ EU ఫర్ డీప్ స్పేస్ సైన్స్. దిస్ ఇస్ ప్లానిటరీ డిప్లొమసీ అంటారన్నమాట. సో ప్లానిటరీ డిప్లొమసీ, సో ప్లానెట్స్ మీద ప్లానిటరీ డిప్లొమసీ. సో ఇంటర్నేషనల్ రిలేషన్స్ యాంగిల్ ఏంటంటే focus towards space governance, that's the major point, and sustainability debates. దీనివల్ల ఇండియా చైనా కాంపిటీషన్ పెరుగుతుంది అండ్ కోఆపరేషన్ ఇన్ గ్లోబల్ స్పేస్ ఫోరమ్స్ లైక్ UN అండ్ కోపస్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ మైండ్ ఆఫ్ అ స్టూడెంట్ హూ ఇస్ సీరియస్ అబౌట్ రైటింగ్ మెయిన్స్. దీనివల్ల స్పేస్ న్యూట్రాలిటీ పెంచుకోవాలి అండ్ లీడర్షిప్ ఇన్ ఫ్యూచర్ స్పేస్ ట్రీటీస్లో ఇండియా షుడ్ టేక్ అ రోల్ టువర్డ్స్ ఇంటర్నేషనల్ రిలేషన్స్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ యూ హ్యావ్ టు అనలైజ్ దిస్ హోల్ ఆర్టికల్. Think not just in terms of science, but also socially, economically, politically, internationally, how it is going to affect. So these are the major points that you have to clearly mention in your mains exam if a question pops up from this. Moving on, next important topic, Google's AI Matryoshka, restructuring the search engine. So very important. So deep AI integration products, that is a whole game. So Google announced deep integration of its AI ecosystem, especially Gemini 2.5 Pro along with Flash. ఈ రెండింటిని కలుపుతున్నారు into all services and tools, making AI accessible and efficient for both consumers as well as developers. So that's the essence of this whole article, Matryoshka. So దీనివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే Gemini models game changers అవుతాయి. For example, Gemini 2.0 Pro excels in complex reasoning tasks like advanced mathematics లో పనికొస్తుంది, coding లో పనికొస్తుంది. Example, USAMO level. You can mention this in your answer. So that shows that you're technically also well versed. So that's how you have to take advantage of the person who's correcting your paper. అలా కాకుండా Gemini 2.5 Flash ఇది ప్రో, ఇదేమో ఫ్లాష్. 20 to 30% better efficiency and native audio outputs kuda across 24 languages. So this is the advantage that we have to take. So please mention all these points. So if you can be asked these questions even into interviews. So keep that in mind. And finally, next gen computing power ఒకసారి చూద్దాం జాగ్రత్తగా. So launch of Ironwood TPUs, Google's 7th generation tensor processing units, TPUs. Tensor processing units, you might get a question on this, TPUs. So what is TPU అంటే tensor processing units. దానివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే massive 42.5 exaflops per pod. For every pod, so many flops are being given. దానివల్ల AI training capacities are going to increase and deployment speeds will grow exponentially. So that's the whole game. So this is the basic structure that you have to remember and write in your answers. So దీనివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఏంటంటే కన్సర్న్స్ ఆర్ deepfakes and unauthorized content పెరగచ్చు. So this is a very bad thing. Watermarking, synth ID for watermarking issue, AI generated content. So you'll get a prelims question from this. What is synth ID related to one? Synth ID detector for verification and authenticity checks. This is also very useful for your prelims. So these are the main points that you have to remember for your prelims. Next, దీనివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే Gemini API and Vertex AI introduce model context protocol, MCP అంటారు దీన్ని. దీనివల్ల ఎఫిషియంట్ AI ఏజెంట్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ పెరుగుతుంది అండ్ సమ్మరీస్ కూడా బ్యూటిఫుల్ గా విత్ ట్రాన్స్పరెన్సీ ఇట్ విల్ ఇంక్రీజ్. కొత్త టూల్స్ ఏంటంటే లైక్ జూల్స్ ఫర్ కోడింగ్, క్యాన్వస్ ఫర్ క్రియేటివ్ పర్పసెస్ అండ్ లైవ్ ఫర్ రియల్ టైమ్ డాక్యుమెంట్ ఇమేజ్ అనాలిసిస్ enhances user as well as developer capabilities భయంకర ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతాయి. So these are the points that you have to mention and they are very very useful for your prelims also, all these points. So please remember all these points: Gemini API, Vertex AI, MCPs, model context protocols. దానివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే కమ్యూనికేషన్ పెరుగుతుంది, సమ్మరీస్ కూడా ఈజీగా ట్రాన్స్పరెంట్ గా పెరుగుతాయి. అండ్ ప్లీజ్ రిమెంబర్ దీస్ టూల్స్: జూల్స్ ఫర్ కోడింగ్, క్యాన్వస్ ఫర్ క్రియేటివ్స్, లైవ్ ఫర్ రియల్ టైమ్ డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ అండ్ ఇమేజ్ అనాలిసిస్. దానివల్ల యూజర్ ఇంకా డెవలపర్స్ ఇద్దరు కూడా కేపబిలిటీస్ పెరుగుతాయి. సో దేర్ ఇస్ అ హెవీ ఛాన్స్ ఆఫ్ a question being asked just like this year. In next year they might give a match the following and ask which tool is useful for what. So that kind of question can come. So match the following is chala important. So keep that in mind, very very useful. Match the following kinds of question can come up from these tools and all that stuff. So let's look at some examples. Key technical concepts of this. Quickly have a glance at all these things. Gemini 2.5 Pro Flash used for advanced AI models by Google. Flash is optimized for speed increase and efficiency, while Pro is designed for high-level reasoning like coding and math. So this is the application of it. Next, TPUs, Ironwood, I told you. They are very useful for tensor processing units. They are special chips made by Google. Why? To process AI tasks faster than regular processors. So they are fundamentally the processors. Now synth ID. What is synth ID చూద్దాం? It's an invisible watermarking tool that marks AI generated content to track authentication. So it's a watermarking tool, synth ID. It's a watermarking tool. Next, MCP. Model Context Protocol అంటే ఏంటి? It's a standardized way of AI agents to communicate. So here the keyword is communicate clearly and effectively. Clearly and effectively పనికొస్తుంది. So remember all the keywords. Gemini 2.5, what does it do? For example, AI models by Google. Flash is optimized for speed and efficiency and doing high level reasoning like coding and all that. TPUs, tensor processing units, they are chips so that Google can process AI tasks faster. So fundamentally they're processors. Next, synth ID is a watermarking tool and that creates, once a content comes down, it knows it is generated by AI. దానివల్ల authentication పెరుగుతుంది. It's not made by a person, it has been created by AI అని తెలుస్తుంది. Next, MCPs, it's a standardized way for AI agents to communicate. And finally, Jules, AI coding agent. It's a smart coding assistant that can write tests, fix bugs, build software using AI models. So these are the points. So every point here is very very important for your prelims as well as for your mains. Prelims plus mains, all of them are very important You can cite them as examples or they might give you an objective question based out of it. So just mug up all these things. You again don't do unnecessary research, just stick to that. Next. Mosur of Antony, a small rule breaker. So a beautiful article has been created. Basically, this article talks about how flora and fauna are adjusting themselves according to the climate change and how their bodies are also being shrink, just like recently we have seen an article on clownfish. So just like that, this is also another important SNT article. So it's a Cambrian discovery. Mosura Fenton, very important. Prelims ki very important. Discovered ancient marine creature found in Canada's Bourgeois Shale. So belongs to radiodont group, very important for prelims, whose distant ancestors of modern arthropods like insects, spiders and crabs. Arthropods ki ancient creatures ivi. They are extremely small, 1.5 to 6 centimeters only, but unusual anatomical complexity chupetundi. So what is the unique morphology of this? Body is divided into 3 distinct zones. Neck, which supports the head, mesotrunk, which contains 6 paddle-like flaps functioning like propellers, and posterotrunk up to 16 segments lined with thin gills untai. And pesterotrunk shows a specialized breathing structure similar to horseshoe crab tails. So very useful for your prelims. What are the different parts of this particular organism and get chance of? Next, why it is called rule breaker? Because size versus its complexity. Challenge is added that early organisms were simple. So, this idea this will target it. Next, segmental specialization. As I told you, the body is divided into different segments. Each segment has a specialization. So, indicates advanced body planning much earlier in evolution. Next, phylogenetic twist entante. It belongs to early radiodonts, but shows traits of more developed arthropods. It shows the features of arthropods, but it is actually a radiopod. That's a good point. So, what are all the concepts of it? Radiodonts ante enti? Extinct group of marine predators, extinct group. So therefore it becomes very important for your prelims, and they are like arthropods. Next, segment specialization, body segments to perform specific functions. What is tagma? Very important for your prelims. Prelims ki chala important. Functional grouping of body segments like head, thorax into segments. And next, Cambrian explosion ante 540 million years ago, rapid species diversification jarigindi. That is called Cambrian explosion. Very important for your prelims. Don't forget this. Every point is very important for your prelims. And next, why is it called rule breaker species? Because it didn't go with the regular style. It went in a different way. So a species that challenges the accepted biological or evolutionary patterns, they are called rule breaker species. So this rule breaker species is very important because it broke the general tendencies and patterns of what scientists have thought about early organisms being very simple, but they are small but very complex. Next, UPSC prelims eట్లాంటి questions అడగచ్చు. They can ask classification or radiodonts, arthropods, insects. So you can be very important chance of question prelims ki. Mains question, evolutionary biology, biodiversity impact of fossil discoveries. Now how new data forces re-evaluation of the scientific assumptions shall they made. So these are this echo chance ledu, but this is like superb. You get heavy chance of questions, direct biology questions being asked from this. Previously, adigina questions ఏంటి? Largest known species groups. Correct answer is insects. Ticks and mites classified as arachnids. There was a question on 2002. 24 laws, cicada, froghopper, pond skater, and insects. These kind of questions were asked. So what is the conclusion? Mosura fentoni is not just another fossil, but understanding of the ancient life, proving that even smallest species can rewrite the biggest rules in evolution. So this is a small conclusion. So fundamentally, the whole concept is things which were thought to be simple are actually not simple, but they're very complex, and they have stayed like 540 million years ago. But today they look like arthropods, but actually they are radiopons. That's the whole game. Next, most important topic, India Maldives to review economic and maritime security partners. I'll first Katanvadaru, people silent aitunaru. So that is the main point. So let's look at this article. Strengthening bilateral framework, so very important. So second high-level core group, HLCG meeting aims to review the vision document adopted in October 2023. So that is the whole point. Focus in the implementation of economic as well as maritime security issues and cooperation. That is the whole point. Maldives' strategic role in India's maritime vision. Maldives is pivotal in India's neighborhood first issue, especially in the concept of Mahasagar. Very, very important for your prelims. Basically, Maldives is also a part of string of pearls of China, so we are going to tucker it. That is the whole point. So India wants to include Maldives in Mahasagar. It is good for them as well as for us. It is regarded as India's key maritime neighbor, influencing the Indo-Pacific dynamics భయంకరంగా చేంజ్ చేసే డైనమిక్స్ మొత్తం చేంజ్ చేసే కంట్రీ మాల్దీవ్స్. సో లాస్ట్ టైం వెన్ ఇండియా మాల్దీవ్స్ రిలేషన్స్ వర్ అండర్ స్క్రూటినీ, ఇండియా సెట్ ఓకే లైట్ తీసుకొని చెప్పింది. దెబ్బకి దే ట్రై టు టేక్ help from China, but then work out because Maldives is a very good destination. Lot of tourism happens and lot of literally Maldives runs on tourism, and major 40% of its income comes from Indian tourists. So they try to screw that up. So they've understood that it's not going to happen. They will require India's support and security because they can't deal with China. So moving ahead, political strain and reset ఏంటంటే strained after President Huzu pro China stance ఇచ్చాడు. దానివల్ల ఇండియన్ ట్రూప్స్ అన్ని కూడా విత్డ్రాల్ చేసినాయి పోస్ట్ నవంబర్ 2023. అక్టోబర్ 2023 ఢిల్లీ విజిట్ అయిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ రీకాలిబ్రేట్ చేసుకుని మాల్దీవ్స్ వాళ్ళు భయ్యా ఇండియాతో ఉంటేనే మనకు మంచిది, చైనాతో మనం పడలేమని వాళ్ళు ఫిక్స్ అయినారు. సో మ్యూచువల్ కోఆపరేషన్ వీ హ్యావ్ అగ్రీడ్ ఫర్ ఇట్. జియోపొలిటికల్ ఇంప్లికేషన్ ఏంటంటే ద పార్ట్నర్షిప్ రీఅఫర్మ్స్ ఇండియాస్ ఎఫర్ట్స్ టు కౌంటర్ చైనీస్ ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్, ఎస్పెషల్లీ ఇన్ విచ్ రీజన్, ఐఓఆర్ ఇండియన్ ఓషన్ రీజన్లో టక్కరియడానికి. దట్ ఈస్ అ హోల్ గేమ్ ఫర్ చైనా. సో India has to give tucker to China in Indian Ocean region until Maldives becomes a very important port for us. So soft power diplomacy really worked for us. We can give this as an example and display through high-level bilateral meetings, engagements, as well as vision-driven cooperation. So this is the whole game. So when your mains question has been given to you in international relations, these are the points that you have to mention. Moving on, authors like S. Jaishankar, India's foreign policy in themes like the India way. So you can ask your question based on this. Very, very important for your prelims. Very, very important for your prelims. Mains question about maritime security, regional diplomacy, India's response to changing political dynamics in neighbors. So there might be a question based on this on mains. So this is how you have to keep analyzing the data, and this is how you have to create your own prelims as well as mains questions. Itlanti books on a diplomats raste, you will guaranteely get those questions. So be careful with respect to these kind of questions. So let's have a quick glance at what we have done today. So the topics are time for New India Africa digital collaboration. I think we have done this. Then Taiwan 2 mission we have done. Google's Matryoshka we have done. Monster of Antony, very important topic we have done. Maldives review also we have done. So these are all the major topics for today. And there are other important topics, but majorly these are new and very fresh. Therefore, heavy chance of a prelims question being asked. And please don't forget, use the code SP Live. Or call this number 81211991985. Use the code SP Live, Shamant Paidikundla Live. Get 15 to 20% discount on your fees. Fees is 1,20,000. It will be reduced to 1,05,000 or 1 lakh. And please use that money for some good purpose. So please revise. The only strategy for UPSC is revision, revision, revision. This year again they proved that revision actually helps. SNT topics, environment topics. People tend to prepare a lot of polity, economy, history and all these things, but UPSC has become more and more smart over the period of years. So it knows what students study, what students don't study. So the whole point is you have to understand the nature of the newspaper. Therefore, watch all the videos, draw your own flow charts, create your own prelims questions as main questions. Any help you require, please message to us at Sriram's IAS Hyderabad. We are all here to help you down for your successful journey into 2026. So have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye. Shaman Paidikundala signing off. Bye-bye.